Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalang.
Hare Krishna. Welcome to our channel. Bhagavad-gita, here it is. Because we have Bhagavad-gita as it is. Translation and commentary by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And my name is Labangala Tika. So we're starting the 11th chapter. It's called the Universal Form. And I will start with the first verse text where we have Arjuna speaking. Arjuna vacha madanugrahaya paramang guhyam adhyatma sangitam Yattvayoktvang vachastena moho yang vigato mama. Arjuna said, by my hearing the instructions you have kindly given me about these most confidential spiritual subjects, my illusion has now been dispelled. So Arjuna is starting out from a point of illusion because he's morose, he's not motivated, and he's unsure of what he should be doing. And when we are not covered by illusion, it is very clear we are a spirit soul, we are connected to Krishna in a relationship of service on different levels. So now Krishna has been bringing Arjuna gradually from point to point to that understanding, and Arjuna is appreciating it, and he's expressing that illusion is now gone. I will read the purport. This chapter reveals Krishna as the cause of all causes. He is even the cause of the Mahavishnu, from whom the material universes emanate. Krishna is not an incarnation, he is the source of all incarnation. That has been completely explained in the last chapter. And we also hear it from the Brahma Samhita. We also hear it how avatari. So we have all the avataris, which means they come down, forms of manifestations of the Supreme, but Krishna is the avatar. He's from him all the avatars are coming. Now, as far as Arjuna is concerned, he says that his illusion is over. That means that Arjuna no longer thinks of Krishna as a mere human being, as a friend of his, but as a source of everything. Arjuna is very enlightened and is glad that he has such a great friend as Krishna, but now he's thinking that although he may accept Krishna as the source of everything, others may not. So in order to establish Krishna's divinity for all, he's requesting Krishna in this chapter to show his universal form. Actually, when one sees the universal form of Krishna, one becomes frightened, like Arjuna, but Krishna is so kind that after showing it, he converts himself again into his original form. Arjuna agrees to what Krishna has several times said. Krishna is speaking to him just for his benefit. So Arjuna acknowledges that all this is happening to him by Krishna's grace. He is now convinced that Krishna is the cause of all causes and is present in everyone's heart as the super soul. So that is the chapter we have just gone through, and Arjuna is, because it's a dialogue, of course Krishna does most of the talking because he's teaching Arjuna, he's giving him this knowledge, but Arjuna is also there. And he's, at some points like here, he's expressing his appreciation. At other points, he's expressing doubts, like, okay, Krishna, you said something, but to me, I don't know. I don't understand it exactly like that. And it's said, like, in this Vedic tradition, and also in the Vaishnava tradition, the etiquette is that when someone is, how to say, you're superior, if they are more learned than you, if they're older than you, if they have a certain position, then you don't challenge them, but you can always express a doubt. So if you don't understand something, it's like you express something here and you are saying this is, our philosophy of Krishna consciousness, but I don't understand it. Please explain further. And that is always welcome. Doubts are actually a sign of intelligence. Without doubts, we will just accept things on a superficial level. So doubts are what brings us to spiritual life, when we start to doubt that this material existence is all in all, is all we can have. We want something more. So then when we start to approach and study spiritual life, we don't just, wholesale buy everything somebody tells us, now this is spiritual and you have to listen to me. No, we understand it from the scriptures and from the teachings and from the application. And when there are doubts, we bring them up. And very, very often we get a good answer. And also, like Arjuna is doing here, when we actually understand something and appreciate something, we express our appreciation as well. I will read text 2 also. Bhavapyayau hi bhutanang shrutau vishtarasho maya tvatta kamalapatraksha mahatmyamapi chavyayam. O lotus-eyed one, I have heard from you in detail about the appearance and disappearance of every living entity and have realized your inexhaustible glories. Purport. Arjuna addresses Lord Krishna as lotus-eyed. Krishna's eyes appear just like the petals of a lotus flower. Out of his joy, for Krishna has assured him in a previous chapter, Aham Krishnasya Jagata Prabhava Pralayastata. I am the source of the appearance and disappearance of this entire manifestation. Arjuna has heard of this from the Lord in detail. Arjuna further knows that in spite of his being the source of all appearance and disappearances, he is aloof from them. As the Lord has said in the 9th chapter, he is all-pervading, yet he is not personally present everywhere. That is the inconceivable opulence of Krishna, which Arjuna admits that he has thoroughly understood. So we're recapping a little bit and going back here. But lotus-eyed, I mean, Krishna has so many names, and sometimes he's like the killer of the demon, or sometimes he's the cause of all causes. And here's the lotus-eyed ones, which kind of just refers to how beautiful he is and how pleasing he is. And a devotee, as aspiring to devotional service, it is very important that we understand the position of God and that Krishna is that God, because that makes us steady in our faith. But then we get to know Krishna as a person, and then we are more attracted to the personal sides of Krishna, like how he is beautiful with his lotus eyes, or how he is smiling to his parents and bringing them joy, how he is playing with his playmates in Vrindavan while they are out herding the cows. So all these things are of Krishna's personality. And as aspiring in devotional service, we need both. We need both the tattva, the knowledge of Krishna, but then we also need the relationship, the sense of Krishna as a person. I'll read one more text, text 3. Evam etad yathanta tvang atmanang parameshvara drashtumichhamite rupam aishvarang purushottama. O greatest of all personalities, O supreme form, though I see you here before me in your actual position as you have described yourself, I wish to see how you have entered into this cosmic manifestation. I want to see that form of yours. So here, as the chapter is called the universal form, this is what this is leading up to. Purport. The Lord has said that because he entered into the material universe by his personal representation, the cosmic manifestation has been made possible and is going on. Now, as far as Arjuna is concerned, he is inspired by the statements of Krishna, but in order to convince others in the future who may think that Krishna is an ordinary person, Arjuna desires to see him actually in his universal form, to see how he is acting from within the universe, although he is apart from it. Arjuna's addressing the Lord as Purushottama is also significant. Since the Lord is the supreme personality of Godhead, he is present within Arjuna himself. Therefore, he knows the desire of Arjuna, and he can understand that Arjuna has no special desire to see him in his universal form, for Arjuna is completely satisfied to see him in his personal form of Krishna. But the Lord can understand also that Arjuna wants to see the universal form to convince others. Arjuna did not have any personal desire for confirmation. Krishna also understands that Arjuna wants to see the universal form to set the criterion, for in the future there will be so many impostors who would pose themselves as incarnation of God. The people therefore should be careful. One who claims to be Krishna should be prepared to show the universal form to confirm his claim to the people. So yes, I'm in Sweden. We don't get a lot of incarnations here, but apparently in India and some places it is quite common that someone comes up and claims to be a manifestation, an incarnation, an avatar of Vishnu. And maybe they have some mystic powers, like we understand from the scriptures that by performing mystic yoga one can develop mystic powers. This is available to ordinary living entities, although they have to perform extraordinary activities to gain those powers. So someone can come in and be a little charismatic, be a little bit able to show off these mystic powers, and then they may try to claim that they are God. But here Arjuna is showing the criteria. If you're God, you can definitely show the universal form. And if you can't show the universal form, there's really no excuse for that, because if you claim to be God, you should be able to substantiate that claim. And if you're not God, you shouldn't go around saying you are God, because that is just rude. So Krishna has been bringing up these points. He has entered into the material universe by his personal representation. And the cosmic manifestation is possible. And it's continuing, because in the form of Vishnu, Krishna is holding it up. So Arjuna here, and actually throughout Bhagavad-gita we see that some of these things are questions that Arjuna need to know, but in a lot of the cases it's explained how Arjuna actually doesn't need this knowledge really, because he's an eternal associate with Krishna. He's serving him, he's traveling with him, he's going from universe to universe. Arjuna is agreeing to be put in this kind of illusion to give Krishna the opportunity to speak Bhagavad-gita, and now we have Bhagavad-gita, which we wouldn't have had otherwise, which is it's an exceptional book, because it's quite it's just one book. Anyone can manage to read one book, but it's very concise, and it has all the most important aspects and questions regarding self-realization and the meaning of life. And that is because Arjuna put these questions before Krishna at this time. So now, yes, not only have we heard of the soul and the super soul and the importance of bhakti, but now we will also learn about the universal form. So we will continue next time, and please come back and hear more about Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for watching. We aim for updates every Tuesday and Friday. Please come back. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down there. We also have some links and information for you. And there is, of course, the subscribe button. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I'm a Hare Krishna, and I approve this message. Subscribe.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.